Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel and Cwtch Corner. Yay!
We've actually started.
We have started, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi everybody. Hi Wellham fam even.
Hello. Thank you for all your lovely messages, wishing me better and everything.
Yeah, it worked thankfully in the end.
Yeah, it was.
I've
really
not
ropey.
known you like that.
Yeah, I didn't. It
So
was when it hit me after we did the last Cwtch Corner, the last one we did, and I kept waking up in the middle and like waking up in the night to redo, because it does in two parts. So restart the next part.
that's right.
On editing it, and then I didn't eat anything for the first 4 days.
No. Well, you couldn't keep anything down either,
No.
so. But no,
Yeah.
it wasn't nice. I've
It
never
wasn't
known
good.
him like that. Usually, if he
My
gets his
stomach's not
stomach,
as small as it is, but it was blown right out.
it did. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but yeah, we were all good now, all singing and dancing.
So I was all right. I just spent most of my time sleeping next to him and what have you, because he sleeps better if I'm there. So, what can you do? Right.
Yeah.
So, after all the sickness,
Yeah, down with the sickness.
word of the week. Right, the word this week is rowl.
Rowl.
I don't know whether that's how you pronounce it, mind you.
Probably. It's Dell with an R at the start. So
Yeah.
Probably.
What it is, believe it or not,
Yeah.
and this so doesn't go in
don't
with my
believe
theme this week, but it's actually the revolving star on
Spurs.
on cowboy boot spurs.
Yeah.
The little star that revolves. Yeah. So that's what that one is.
All right. So there you go.
Now I must admit, even I'm going to have trouble mentioning that, and I used it for word of the week. So technically I don't have any trouble using it, but let me know if you do manage to, and if so, how, because you know,
Well, if you're talking about spurring someone on,
yeah, but it's not a spur,
no,
it's the little
the rowl.
star
Yeah.
that revolves,
Yeah.
and I think it's only a revolving star at that. So if you've got one that's just sits there and doesn't revolve,
No,
it's
they
not the same
I think they're
thing.
revolved. I think.
No, you can get some that are just decorative items.
Don't know if they still use them now.
No, I don't like
'Cause
them.
it's-
The
'cause
scaring
it's the-
on the side
Yes,
of the
that's
horses
right.
used to be
I don't know
terrible.
if they still use them.
But I say, so if you, I mean, they're not, you know, it's like anything in it. But yeah, no.
Yeah. So here we go. On
I like my horses without
the Sherlock
scars.
puzzle from 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Now I can't remember what it is, but
Right.
what
Sherlock puzzle was.
Go on.
I was reading the newspaper one afternoon when a rather grisly little news story caught my eye. It concerned the unfortunate fate of one Daniel Boutreau, the son of a rather wealthy shipbroker. Young Mr. Boutreau, easy to read it on there, had been to Essex on a climbing trip with a companion. Despite being generally considered skilled at the sport, something had gone wrong and he had fallen from the top of an escarpment. His friend Alan Dickey, the lead climber, had already reached the top and was belaying Boutreau's from up there when the rope failed. This was of course very sad, but what startled me were the florid lengths to which the newspaper reporter went in describing the scene. Several paragraphs were devoted in their entirety to poor Boutreau's body and the way it lay shattered over the mound of cold rope at the foot of the cliff. The friend Dickey was said to be in shock. I mentioned the piece to Holmes, who grunted non-committally. After a moment, he asked if there was any mention of a frayed rope end. I scanned through, and sure enough, the reporter mentioned frayed piece of unwound rope. It's still murder, Holmes said. Can you see how he came to that conclusion? I came up with an idea.
Yeah, I mean, I've put which made sense to me at the time, and I could see why.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, the newspaper went into great detail and what have you.
Yeah.
And I said, if the friend was in that much shock, how did they explain the details? But then, of course, I realised after you reading that, it didn't specify it was the friend that gave the details.
No.
But that was sort of what I was going along the lines of. Because if you mind you saying that, shock can work two ways, because you can see things go minutely, but I'm sure it's something to do with the rope. That's all I'm sure of.
The bit I went with on the rope is the rope was coiled underneath him, which means he was near the top or at the top.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if he'd still been climbing up, the rope would have been on top of him.
That's true. It would, actually.
But that's all I got
So,
on it.
what is it? Is either of us right?
We've got other people.
Oh, we've
right?
got other people, yes.
Yeah.
I'm so
Got
sorry,
Journey.
peoples. Johnny,
I'm
yay!
assuming that the friend had tampered with the rope. If the end was frayed, it snapped when he was near the top. Question mark. Sam Sargent, Sherlock, dunno.
I love your honesty.
Angela, I haven't a clue about Sherlock. Laura, I've read this week's Sherlock and I have no idea. I wondered if the unwound rope should have been checked before use, or if an escarpment is safe in the first place. Who knows? Can't wait to find out though. And Pink Poodle, the Sherlock sounds like the newspaperman wanted a story to make him famous, or he's jealous of the friendship.
Oh, she's going for bumping off. I like that.
I'm the same. I think the newspaper man is foul play.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's thinking outside the box. That is. I like the pure honesty of our peeps as well.
Yeah,
It's like no idea. Yeah, no idea. So yeah, no idea.
What we got? Daniel. The corpse is on top of the rope coils. Boutros was at the bottom of the rope, and since we know he was being belayed from above, the rest of the rope was above him. Wherever the rope fell, if it had snapped or even been let go, the rope would be next to or above the body, not beneath it.
You were right then, Darren.
Yeah. Dickie must have thrown him off the top of the cliff after one of the two of them sent the rope over, whether deliberately or accidentally. Yeah.
So there was me suspicious of the friend because of the amount of detail. There's Pink Poodle who picked up on the fact that she noticed how detailed the newspaper reporter was and blamed him, whereas I just assumed that somebody else had been naughty and he'd reported on it. And all in all we did know was it was rope, and you were right. You were pretty much spot on. And Journey recognised it was rope as well. So yeah, we're not doing bad.
We've got this one. We've got St Mary's axe.
Ooh.
Zooming up. St Mary axe even. Holmes was reading the file that Inspector Lestrade had furnished him with some high-profile matter regarding purloined diaries belonging to a cabinet minister's young daughter.
Why is there a red line? Sorry.
You can't. Well, you won't see the red line.
Oh right, sorry people.
Because that's where the file. That's where the file goes. Like.
Ah, sorry people.
You can't see any of that on the actual image.
There's a red line.
Every so often he'd snort or toss his head, rather like an ill-tempered stallion. Finally he put the papers down and turned to me. Lestrade's documents say that Mr. Lloyd takes precisely 4 hours to walk to and from his home in Stoke Newington to the city, not counting the 60 seconds he takes to hand an envelope to a small man in St Mary's axe. His outward journey is conducted at an average rate of 5 miles per hour and a return journey 3. Is that useful to know? I asked innocently. Not in the least, Holmes replied. Maybe you tell me how far it is from Lloyd's home to his small man in the city. Can you find the answer? Yes.
I think I know that actually. Right, after this riddle, and after last week's riddle, I'm going to announce what this week's theme is.
All right, yep. Fair
But
enough.
not until after the riddles,
Right.
because we haven't hit it yet.
So, let's have a riddle.
There's nothing like a good riddle.
It's nothing like a Jimmy riddle. That's right, yeah. And Darren's riddle.
Right, so it was last week's one was what again?
What goes in dry and hard but comes out soft and wet? Now, what there
Right.
was what people came up with other things, and it was like, yeah, they all came out, they were all right, actually.
Right, now then, I've come up with something, apart from the obvious, which was wooed, so I didn't write it down. I didn't want to shock the hamsters. Right, so I put frozen chips, peas, or any sort of frozen vegetable. It goes in a saucepan, gets cooked, and it comes out soft. Or in the case of frozen chips, it's you put it in an air fryer and they're
They come out
soft in
hard.
the middle. No, they're still soft. Or alternatively, if it was something dry that comes out wet, it'd be porridge oats, but it wasn't that. So yeah, so I'm going with frozen chips and veg and so on.
Yeah.
See, it's a bit
Right.
different actually.
What we got on here? What it come up was supposed to be was pasta. Yeah, but people have come up with other bits that it also is. We've got Riddle came up with as a biscuit, which it would. Yeah, you put a biscuit in drink.
You have a dunk. I do like dunking, or I used to anyway, like dunking a nice ginger nut in a cup of coffee, or a bourbon, or when I was really naughty and before I was diabetic, dairy milk into a coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, yum yum yum.
Next one we've got Sam Sargent, chewing gum. Chewing gum also works.
Yes, it does. Because these days it's those little hard things. I haven't been able to buy stripped ones, which I presume they're not sold now because of the amount of waste in packaging, presumably. Can you still get those flat ones? I don't know. Because all the bubble
I
gum.
don't know.
No, I haven't got bubble gum. I've got chewing gum.
Juicy
But
fruit, it's like that. Yeah. We've got Angela, bubble gum or chewing gum. Yeah, again, it's going to go on that. Leanne, first thing I thought of was a tea bag. That's the one we had before. That was. What goes out dry and comes in. What goes in dry and comes out wet.
but tea bag's not hard.
But that was, yes, right. Yeah. And Laura's pasta.
Well done.
Pink Poodle, the riddle answer I thought was washing up first. Then I tried to think of food, maybe with chewing gum. It's hard when you put it in your mouth and soft, and as you chew, it becomes soft. And so, as we said, that also works on it.
What clothes do you wear that are hard then?
I don't know. Right. I forgot to actually write one out for this one. So you're gonna have to listen to it because I've gone onto it. You're gonna have to listen to it to actually get what it is.
Right, okay. Go
I'm
on then.
picking one up random I had from here.
He forgot to put
Right.
it on.
I come in a lot of different sizes. Sometimes I drip a little. If you blow me, it feels really good. What am I? Again, it is. I come in a lot of different sizes. Sometimes I drip a little. If you blow me, it feels really good. What am I?
I haven't got the foggiest at the moment, apart from the obvious. Oh dear, and if anybody's asking what's the obvious, you're too young to be watching
Yes,
us.
right.
Okay, just saying, or far too innocent. Oh, that's fabulous. You've just got to remember what one it was now.
I'm writing it down here.
I'm sorry, I can't concentrate enough from... I'm going to have to take myself away from that. I had to do that with the riddle from last week. Oh dear. I apologise if I've blasted in the eardrums. Until it's not my nan. My nan used to sort of like thump. I mean, if they watched a comedy at home, like mum and dad, like have my grandparents round to watch different film bits and things like that, and if it was a comedy or a bit rude, my poor dad ended up black and blue down one arm where my nana keep punching him. Oh dear. Yeah, not violently, obviously, but it's just, it's like my auntie Eileen.
So that one was worth fighting for, was it? Get a little bit ready for it.
It was, but I'm going to have to think of something now that isn't rude, which is, you know, I mean, it's like the opposite of my usual thinking, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I try to make things less, yeah. Anyway, right, so theme this week.
We've got caption of the week.
Yes. But there's a theme this week.
Yeah.
And I've chosen this purposely because it's something that I know Journey into the Realm loves. And I am also quite partial to it myself. And I'm pretty sure that quite a few of you also like it. So, with that being said, the theme this week is Alice in Wonderland. Now, I've had an absolute blast finding all the bits for this. Real fun. Don't worry, the cake fails are there, the actual cake things are there. I have not let you down. But most of it is Alice orientated or inspired. Now, that being said, there was only one animal I could possibly look for to make a fun caption out of. Now, I've written down quite a lot, and Darren has been banned from giving any suggestions whatsoever.
Yes.
But
before that, we've got last week's.
Yes, that's true. Actually, we'll do last week's.
So before that, we got last week's,
which
was that.
You could have said that first.
You would have only said you wanted to say me then.
All right then. Right, so the captions I've got for last week was, my face says don't mess with me. My antlers say I love you. Big hearted. And ain't I handsome?
Yeah.
Not great, I must admit, but I just really loved the stag. So
I preferred my one. I fairly horny.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Right. So I suppose, like.
Right, we got Journey into
the
Realm. Caption of the week. Someone had to come up with something to try and sum up how beautiful this image is.
It is.
But all I kept going back to is what stuck me straight away, and that is one light bulb moment. Looks like he's got a light bulb right on the top of his head.
He does actually. She's right. Yeah.
He's looking at you, kid. And horns are us.
I like that. I like that. You wait till you see this week.
We've got Laura's. Got caption of the week, it reminded me of the Eurovision song by Katrina and the Waves in 1997. Love Shine a Light.
That's very clever, actually.
Yeah. I can only remember one Eurovision one.
Oh, not Happy Feet. What's it?
You've gone.
I've gone.
I
have completely gone. I've got the phone screen in front of me. I am really here, people. It's the whole Alice thing. In a minute, my eyeballs will appear and a big grin. What do you mean connection's lost? I'm right here. Look.
Here it is.
Oh, he's back. See, I told you.
Right. Yeah, the only one I can remember, well, apart from Making Your Mind Up, Waterloo by ABBA,
I
which
thought
was
that was
which was down at
Eurovision.
Brighton.
I love that one.
That was down in Brighton.
Sandy Shore is the one that I always think of, and I can't remember. I mean, the name of the song now.
Puppet on a String.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I know. Lordy.
Oh, they were fantastic. Actually, while we're talking about musicy bits, before we officially start on the Alice collection I've got for you.
You've gone again.
I've gone again.
It's not liking you.
It's not, is it?
No. He's a V-man.
He
The Victor.
Getting snogged.
Getting snog you. Getting all bow. Snog you.
Right, so I'm sorry if we disappeared at any point, or I disappeared at any point, but as I said, it's the Cheshire Cat thing coming along.
Yeah.
Mwah. Right, if you go to your dad a minute,
Yeah.
so Mummy can put her turn
What?
Timothy. No, so Mummy can turn on her phone onto the right bit for the information that I need on my other bits.
All right, we're still on the.
The caption.
We're
Yes,
still
I
on
know.
the caption, darling.
Right, okay, guys. So, go on then. What have we got?
All right. We've got Pink Poodle.
Ooh,
Oh dear.
I like that. The fact that nobody else thought of that.
Fancy a drink at the Stag's Head?
Also, that is good.
Who says a stag can't be romantic?
It's clever.
Don't you try and get around me with your heart-shaped antlers. I've heard of wearing your heart on your sleeve, not on the antlers.
They're good.
Is this the agency for tree look-alike? Been a while for the agency now.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is it. We missed the agency.
Do you really have heart antlers? Do they take you where love is?
What are you eating? No, no, no. I don't want you eating things I don't know what they are. Sorry, Pink Poodle. Sorry, Darren.
Yeah. Do you really have heart antlers? Do they take you where love is?
I don't know.
And that was them. Right.
Well, I suppose actually I'm going to add one more onto it that I've just thought of.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, watch you don't poke someone's eye out with that.
God.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all fun and games till someone loses
Now,
an eye.
I will tell you, I have many, 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 many wonderful, and I am really happy with these captions for this week's one. So, let's give you a look, and you'll have to wait till next week for my amazing answers. Look at him!
Off with his head.
Strangely enough, that is not one of my written down ones, but you cannot add anything else to that. I'm particularly pleased with my
He looks
last.
like he should have the suit on underneath that. Behind the fluff bit.
Yes, he does a bit. Yeah, he does. You're right. Whose rough is it anyway, eh? Whose rough is it anyway? Why is it I can never work out which way to... There we go.
If you're moving it that way, it goes that way. If you're moving it that way, it goes that way.
I know, it's just my brain doesn't function like that. He looks massive, doesn't he, like that? Ooh, clever! That looked so clever on camera. Yes, it did. You looked flash.
Yeah.
You are.
Alright. He's got one of his ball,
Right.
isn't he?
He is going to want his full people, so bear with Darren. Right, guys.
So, videos posted this week.
Right, posted this week. We had a cult box spooky socks for January.
Yeah.
Craftiosity January.
Yeah.
Which was really popular with you guys as well as me. I am not getting next month's one because it's now out and
Paper mache vase.
but it doesn't look any. It doesn't
It
really
looks like someone's made it with cardboard and then put paper mache on the outside of it.
I mean, put
which
it
is
this,
really strange.
Yeah,
it's very angular. And
No,
really tiny. It's like,
paper mache. I might have had a go if it was something worth making, but it really didn't look great.
the paper mache bowl is really easy to make. You just blow a balloon up, put it around the outside. You did that at school.
I know.
Put it around the outside. We made masks with it then.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I mean, either way, it just isn't worth it for me this time. Next time.
And we had the Coven one.
And we had Coven January.
Yeah.
I told you it was a good one.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you really need to. It was the dog's doofers.
Yeah.
And
Alternatively, we got the occult box for December's one. The Moon and Triple Goddess.
now I will put out there that I was slightly concerned that it might come across as being, it was awful. I'll be honest, guys, it was absolutely awful. I like Misha, I like a cult box, but this month's box for me was bad. And one of the bits in it I found really insulting.
Well, we had when we got on, before we got onto this, we had one comment on it from Matt Dobson. Hi Matt, if you're watching.
Hi Matt.
He said his favourite bit was the picture.
Yeah.
His least favourite bit was the thing that they called a necklace. But
needless to say, that was the item I found insulting. I'd rather they hadn't have bothered with that. It honestly is not the best box they've done. They've done some fantastic boxes.
No, but we'll see how it goes next month.
We're going to see how it goes next month.
Because they could have like just be a days of moving and bits like that. It's like, yeah,
this is it.
So they've had problems and bits. So it's like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Then.
I mean, not only that, you know, you might see the bits in there and think, okay, yeah, fine. I don't think you will, but you know, but everybody is different. Yeah. And it's not a direct hit on a Cwtch box or Misha, but we like to stay true. I try and stay polite as possible, but I will say if I don't like something.
Yep. All right. And that was all the ones this week.
It was.
So it was only the start of the week.
It's worth watching it for the controversy, but you might be better off watching Coven afterwards.
It was only the start of the week. I felt well enough to actually edit things again.
Yeah, this is
so
it.
It was,
like I said, I've never known him like that.
We have got a puzzle completed.
Yeah, I know. Now, this is one I sorted out before Christmas, believe it or not, which is possibly why it's a Christmas puzzle. Yeah. Obviously, that side of things, we're still...
was a very Merry Christmas.
The official Alice stuff doesn't start until Weird and Wonderful, so we can get away with this.
It was the Christmas market you saw from there. And that's what the bit was.
It was brilliant. It was so fun to do. It's another one that was a keep. Yeah. I'm afraid, guys, you're going to have to put up with a few Christmas ones because I've still got some to do.
Yeah, so that's about all you've got. And you've got
I've got my larger ones. I've got my different ones, and I've also got, of course, my Harry Potter shop sign ones.
You have, yes.
Need to get the Quibble one next.
Yeah. All right.
Right. So.
TV and film watch this week.
Right, now this week, guys, we have been... I've finished off Cold Case.
Yep, Cold Case is finished now. We've done that all.
Honestly, if you've not seen it, it's absolutely fantastic. The oldest case they worked on was 1918, I believe.
Yeah.
And
the youngest case, I think it said 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, it was. It said it had a date. It said 10 minutes ago.
It wasn't. Although the case happened 10 minutes ago, it did relate back to one that was back further than that. Obviously, well, not obviously at all, but you know, you'll notice quite a few people in Cold Case popping up. There's quite a few from.
Yeah, it must. We're guessing it must have been filmed in Canada because there's a lot of Canadian ones that it was on, that were in it.
It's also more British humour, if you know what I mean, which is another big difference. But yeah, other than finishing off Cold Case, we started watching Gotham again, which is, I just love Gotham. I really do. I have started watching some Veronica Mars, but it doesn't really count too much because I needed something that I was very, very familiar with while I was trying to work out where to go after Cold Case. Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Right.
Oh, namely because I'm so tired, that's why. Oh dear.
So we have got the Weird and Wonderful.
No, not quite. just a quick note that we still have tons to post, and obviously Darren's got quite a lot to edit still. One of which, apart from our usual monthly ones, of course, which have been really good, we also had a gift from Journey arrive. Technically, we had two.
Two gifts from Journey arrive.
Because one of the bits that was supposed to go in is she forgot to send in with the other bit, so she sent that as a secondary bit. So no, thank you again, Journey. And I'm not telling you what it is. You're gonna have to look, guys. If you're observant, you might notice that something is different. That you might sneak a peek of.
Yeah. All right. So we've got Weird and Wonderful.
Weird and Wonderful. I'm going to start you off with Fashion Week.
Yeah.
So, Alice inspired dresses. Now, obviously, when I put that in, or Alice in Wonderland dresses, it came up with some surprising number of raunchy ones. And like fancy dress sort of bits. Well, I wanted something a bit different, so I typed in wedding dress underneath.
Yeah.
And it actually brought up a few different ones. Not a colossal amount. No. So this is the first one.
Yep.
And I mean, these are more of a nod to. Unfortunately, this one isn't as clear, but it's a white bodice and it's got the old-fashioned Alice and the rabbit and
oh right, yes.
There's different. You can see a face on there and bits like that. So it's such a shame that one didn't pull up as well. But I wanted to give you an idea by doing that.
Yeah.
The next one is this one. Now the fabric on the bust is the same, but obviously in blue. So I managed to get you've got a clearer picture here. So you've got the Mad Hatter, them all sitting down to the Mad Hatter's table. You've got Alice, of course. You've got the caterpillar. You've got the playing cards.
You've got the Cheshire Cat over there.
Yeah, and I mean, it is beautiful. But I sort of, the first one was sort of my favourite because although it's Alice in Wonderland, it's not in your face.
Yeah.
There was a different dress part to this one as well, so you had the choice of the multicoloured or this one, which I personally think that looks better.
Yeah. But it's very hard to hide your DMs under that.
It would, yes.
Yeah.
Right, so other than that, as I said, they're quite subtle. Here's one that's in your face.
Oh, bloody hell, yeah.
Now this looks like the bottom part of it looks like a lampshade to me.
I thought you looked like a cupcake.
But it definitely screams this is about Alice.
Oh yeah.
Well, it sort of does actually, but yeah, it just
sort of screams.
Yeah, it just sort of screams. Right, so of course did dresses, so I thought, well, I've got to do shoes. So here's a few. Some of these are from a regular choice. Now I've got prices for some of these and where to get them. Not these, because they're just a regular choice one. So basically, if you want to find them, you can. But
if they've got them.
They're just a mix. This is it because there usually is only a limited amount done.
Yeah.
Right, so next picture.
Yeah.
Right, unfortunately, I mean this shows the back of one of the ones that was on there, and it gives you a clue. But quite a few of the heels are the different characters.
Yeah.
Now I'm not a pink person, but I love the rabbit and I love the pom pom on the back of the shoe. I thought that was a really nice touch. Yeah, I know it is. It's his little puff.
Yeah.
Right. I know these are really. This is a really nice pet. It's because it's simple. It's not in your face.
Yeah.
It's a nod to it, and these are from Phantasma Countessa 57. They are no Phantasma. It's a shoe shop, I presume.
Oh, Phantasma. Oh, yeah. No, I thought there was all one name, you see.
This one is, this pair was on there at the time of this picture for £50.30.
Not bad.
No, it's not really at all.
Wow.
So I haven't got all prices on here, but I thought that you guys would possibly want to know places to look. Now then, these are pretty fabulous, aren't they? I mean, you're peeking before your time.
I caught it.
Right, these ones are on Etsy, and they're from a company called Your Heart Desires 1.
Yeah.
It's all one word, including the number 1.
Yeah.
And these are actually advertised as bridal wedding shoes or bridal pumps, and they're £140. It looks like they're peak toe as well, by the looks, possibly.
Yeah.
It looks like it anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love shoes anyway, and my sister-in-law's got a few pairs from a regular choice. I've got some Joe Brown ones that remind me of Mary Poppins. They're not, but you know, they're that style, and they're sort of that look, and they're a velvet blue. But yeah, I just think they're so cool. I'd never walk in them. These, however, right, this is a bit of a different choice, because I didn't just want to give you high heels.
Shoes, aren't they?
These ones, yeah, they are. They're hand painted, and this is again Etsy, and it's Akadoozla, which is AKUADUULZA. I have no idea whether this is English company or not. I will say that, hands up with the Etsy one. These are up for £54.99, which isn't bad actually for that style shoe.
£54.99, I would say they are UK.
Yes, more than likely.
Because otherwise it would translate as a funny amount.
Yeah, but I didn't want to promise something. I haven't used these companies.
Otherwise they may come as £52,
yeah,
39 or something, 36 or something like that.
Now, I haven't used these companies. I'm not sponsored.
No.
But if I see things that I think you guys are like, and it's not always easy to find where things are from, basically. So I thought, well, I'll mention it when they say about it. Not all things do.
Yeah.
Right, this next pair I haven't got a price for, but I really wish I had, but then there'd probably be too much money anyway.
Yeah.
But I am totally in love with these. This is my style, something chronic.
Yeah. What's the purple in it as well?
Yeah, that's right. But I just think these are my favourites, because they are very me. You know, I mean, I wouldn't have said no to a little bit more heel, like chunky, like it is.
Quite a bit of heel on it.
But it's not bad, and I mean, they are. I mean, I've never been particularly dainty. My Joe Brown ones are an absolute exception to that. They're not like thin stiletto or anything like that, because I'd never be able to walk in them.
No.
Right, so I thought you'd want some Alice in Wonderland facts. Now, I didn't notice it said 4 things when I stole the picture, but I have more than 4 things to tell you, but here are a few. Right, Alice in Wonderland was published in 1865. The original title of the novel was Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
It was, yes.
Lewis Carroll is actually a pseudonym.
Yes.
The author's real name was Charles Lutwidge Dodgson, which you might want to take note of, because it's bound to come up in a quiz sometimes in your lifetime. The novel was banned in China in 1931 with the reasoning that animals should not use human language. So because they spoke normally like well, as
Humans.
normal as
Yeah.
humans.
Yeah.
That's why it was banned.
Not the excessive drug use or anything
No.
like that.
Also, there are at least 20 known big and small screen adaptations of the original story.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised by that.
It's a few.
Since it was published in 1865, it's been translated into 176 languages. At the time, the book was so popular that its sequel, Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There, sold out within 7 weeks of its publication. Now, you think
yeah.
that is back then in 1865.
Yeah.
Now, books were a luxury back then, very much so.
So people weren't.
This is
I'll
it.
tell you what, a lot
So
of people wouldn't have
it's...
been able, it would only been certain people would have been able to read.
That's right as well. In addition to partial deafness and other health complications, Carol suffered from a rare neurological disorder that causes hallucinations and makes objects appear larger or smaller than they are. The disease wasn't discovered until 1955 by an English psychiatrist, John Todd. Eventually it was named Alice in Wonderland syndrome or Todd's syndrome. It is actually some people do suffer with that.
So he wasn't actually high as a kite then?
No, he saw things in a very strange way. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was really interesting. Also, one last fact, I'm not sure whether I said about it or not, but I did read it. It's never been out of publication.
No.
Not once.
No.
Since 1865, it has always been in publication, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Because things can drift.
Yeah.
Right, now then, people, I wanted to provide you with plants and flowers and things that... fair enough. Ignore that. Ignore that statement. I'm jumping ahead. I'm following my phone rather than my notebook.
We're all mad here.
What it is I send myself information to Messenger, so I don't have to write it all in the notebook.
Yeah.
So I'm following my phone to a certain extent, but my notebook's got everything in order for me. But I forget that when, you know, I get on a roll. Right, so Alice inspired furniture. I have not got prices for these. No. However, if you look on Etsy, there are quite a few that have been upcycled, and this is a chair that has indeed been upcycled. And there are lots. I could have gone for hours on end on different bits, but I've tried to condense it a little bit for you to 6 pieces. Yeah. So that's our first. That is our second. So if you get, you know, it's obviously an older styled chair, but they've reupholstered it and painted it. Yeah. Not in that order, reverse order, I should imagine. And yeah, I think they've done a blooming good job, actually.
Yeah. That's nice.
This is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes to show you, I mean, that's quite a nice wardrobe in its own right, but you can get wardrobes like that, but they can be a little bit beaten up and scratched and things, and very outdated. So even if you're not any good at painting, you can buy decals of different bits. And another idea is, if you find wallpaper that you like, it's also something you can use in sections of the door. Obviously they've painted that.
Yeah, sure.
But there are other ways of doing things. But I liked that. I thought it was pretty.
Yeah.
This is just where we go on to the bonkers Alice furniture now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what an idea, eh? As a chaise.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it is, isn't it? It's, you know, you would use it as a chaise lounge. It's like chaise lounge.
Sort of. You can't just sit on it. You can't do anything else with it.
No.
You can only sit straight on it.
Don't know. Sorry, people. I was thirsty. Right. Next one. Now, don't ask me. I'm assuming that all the other drawers pull out normally.
And that one's
And
just
that
done
one's
as being all fallen out.
like that, and you could possibly display books and things in it, maybe. I mean, either way, let's face it, it's quite wicked, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit strange.
It is. This has got to be my favourite reupholstering one. I think because it's slightly Beetlejuicy as well to me.
Well, it's black and white.
It's the black and white stripe, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really love that, and the idea of doing something like that is really impressive, actually.
Oh, want a cake?
We are on to cake. So now look at that for a knob. I do like a nice knob, and that is a lovely knob. Look at his little face. Those of you thinking I'm being rude, I am not.
It's a doorknob.
It's a doorknob. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I bet Kelly did have a happy 40th, because that is one hell of a cake.
It is, yeah.
I have got a few cakes for you, people, so don't be disappointed. Now, again, I know it's the thing with the knob, but I had to do it. Look at the bunny. Look at the white wabbit.
He's climbing up.
Yeah.
Climbing up in the hat.
Nobody's helping him.
No.
But yeah.
Anything at the top? No.
No, it's a flower. Flower. And you've got the cards going around the base, which is absolutely wicked. Look at that. I thought they've been quite overstated. I wanted something that was a little bit more understated, but still, it's all about the Mad Hatter's tea party.
That's right.
Right, so our next one.
Yeah.
Look at that.
The white rabbit on the bit.
Now, you might think the Cheshire Cat might be my favourite
You're all
character.
late for tea.
My favourite character's the dormouse that's asleep in the teapot.
He'd be asleep in the teapot, you wouldn't see him.
I know. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. It's so cute. That's what you are. I liked this one because it was sort of more classic, if you like, you know. And also it shows you, I mean, technically you could buy a sort of cup like that topper, I suppose, and possibly even use a pocket watch that you've just got hold of, or buy a edible one.
The images are just printed
but
onto there.
the images are printed on, and it is a doable-ish cake, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Or it gives you ideas outside the realm of natural bits. I had to do this one because I wanted to do one that actually covered the Johnny Depp one. I'm more about the Alice cartoon Disney, but I just thought, you know.
So we've got Cheshire Cat.
He asked.
Alice, doorway.
And of course you've got your flowers, because I don't know what keeps coming up with that.
Because I keep clicking the right side.
Ah. Look at Johnny Depp's one. There's the Mad Hatter. I mean, that is fabulous. I know.
You've got the
Tweet and Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah.
Your teapot, and you've got mushrooms, and you've got the caterpillar there as well, the blue caterpillar, tree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just liked it. I thought, you know, that's pretty cool. Right, so now it leads me on to saying, obviously, if I'd have just done the flowers basic from there, it would be things like dandelions and bits like that. So what I did was I looked for something that wouldn't look out of place. And these are Cwtch Paggy. It's a small succulent.
Succulent.
Thank you. It's a small succulent native to South Africa and southern Nairobi. Oh, is it?
Is it
Yes,
Nairobi?
it could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I saw them when I had them on my phone already, and I thought, oh, yeah, I wonder if I can get some bits that do look like that sort of jobby. Here's some more for you. I've got a monkey-faced orchid,
Which we have had before.
we have had before, but in different colours, and this one looked very Alicey. It's also known as a Dracula simia.
Yeah.
Then another orchid, it's the naked man orchid, also known as the hanging man orchid.
Yeah, I've seen them in smaller amounts.
Or,
yes. Because if you look at one
Orcus,
individually, you can see the legs and the arms and the tail.
But I just thought, that looks quite Alice in Wonderland-y.
Yeah.
And now now I haven't named these. This is actually its main name.
Yeah.
It's known as hooker's lips or hot lips, which presumably people call it if they don't want to explain to a child. It's called hooker's lips.
Yeah.
Its Latin name is unpronounceable.
It's going to get butchered really badly.
So I'm not even going to bother. Yeah. And of course I wanted to do a mushroom of some sort. Just got to get to that. Hang on. Right. Alien fungi, the mushroom that inspired Alice in Wonderland's creators. In the fantasy novel Alice in Wonderland, there is a magic mushroom that can make Alice change in size. Its magical properties are said to have been inspired by the hallucinogenic effects of the fly agaric mushroom. Often red with white dots on its head, the highly toxic mushroom is the real-life version of the one most iconic elements of the fantasy fiction. When it's young, it's covered completely by white or yellow warts. As it gets older, the cap gradually expands and the white warts are more or less evenly distributed on the cap and its colour emerges. So that's when you get the red coming through. It temperates the subarctic regions of the northern hemisphere. Groups of fly agaric are often found close to birch and pine trees. So, you know, who knew? I mean, it amazes me. It absolutely amazes me. But yeah, I just love that. But no, it does say it's a mushroom. Or it says fungi, actually, so, you know. Right.
Your nails.
We have got nails. I'm just going to get myself back because I stupidly didn't put that information in the right place. Right, okay, so yeah, I thought you've got to have some nails, haven't you?
I don't know what the pink and
that'd be it'd be based on the Cheshire Cat, because for some reason
I suppose, it would do,
the Cheshire Cat comes in many different sprites.
The chessboard,
the
clock,
the
queen, and then the cards.
Yeah, that's right. Worry not, mere mortals. These are more like wraps or complete fake nails, if you know what I mean.
They're very fake,
but yeah.
Nice.
They are. These I liked because they were a lot more sort of understated, and they're shorter and they're without, you know.
Clock.
This is it. I just thought they were really cute.
Yeah.
The next ones, or I think this is the last. Yeah, these are the last ones of the nails.
Yeah. Cheshire Cat.
And then you've got one with like a charm on it, which, to be honest, I would worry that'd get ripped off.
Yeah.
And then pull off the nail with it.
Yeah.
But it's still,
The
I
face-
mean,
the
they
fake
still
nails
look.
anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, they are fake.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm having enough trouble with mine because they keep breaking
Yeah.
as soon as they're growing now.
Hmm.
Right, so what else have we got?
We've got, that sand sculpture, yeah.
Sand sculpture, yeah.
The Queen, the
Cheshire Cat,
Cheshire
Tweedledee
Cat,
and Tweedledum, White Rabbit.
flowers.
Yep.
And
And it looks
palace
like
in
the
background.
castle. Yeah, I'm going to say that.
We got
Oh, this is one
She's
where the
unfortunate
baby. Yeah, but the baby changes into a pig. I found that quite odd.
yeah,
And it's not in every
no,
bit, actually, so.
yeah.
But yeah, she doesn't look very happy.
No.
And
I like the name of the bit. Have wheelchair will travel.net.
This one I saw as a side bit, but I really like the dodo and everything, and the fact that Alice looks like a real girl.
Yeah.
Actually, Alice in Wonderland, well, Alice, who the book was based on, was his goddaughter,
Yeah.
and she actually had dark hair.
Yeah.
Mm.
Your bits change though.
Yes, they do.
Cinderella. In the translation, it wasn't a glass slipper. It was a fur slipper. Because apparently, the words.
I'm going to have to get a drink, love.
I believe it's Swedish. The words changed.
Right, bear with me. I'm sorry. I've got to get a drink. Right, so now, people, we have got cake fails. This is really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is what the person was trying to make. This is what happened when they tried.
Oh my god. Oh. Well, it didn't really.
I mean, I can see where they were going with it. But, yeah, it's a bit different.
Yeah. That was a two,
And, of course, you had to have the two of them together because otherwise, you know. But, yeah. No,
As a cupcake, that's not bad.
No, I mean, it unfortunately,
I think it is bigger than
they
a cupcake,
stopped.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's. It looked to me like a cake that had been made to look like a cupcake sort of thing, but it's unfortunate really that the piping. I mean, it almost looks like it's piped with foam as opposed to icing, doesn't it? It's very strange, unless it was a bit melty.
Oh my god.
Now, they obviously didn't have white for the teeth, so they've used a banana.
Yeah, but underneath the banana, it looks like the Cheshire Cat's got boobs.
Yeah, with a sort of spider on each one. Yeah. And I like the use of the oranges to make the ears as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And, yeah, I'm presuming the three cupcakes are supposed to be a tail as well. I mean, come on, they had a go. But
They did, yeah.
I mean, I love these. I really do. Right, next. Now, actually, as ones go,
That's not bad,
I
actually.
don't think it's bad, no.
That's pretty good. Oh, wait, that's...
But I wanted to show you this one because I mean, is it just me or does he look like he's been punched in the face? And his eyes are in mid-roll because his head looks quite flat, like it's been squished, or you know, and yeah. Now then, you might say to yourself, this is not Alice in Wonderland. There are birds and different animals in Alice in Wonderland, but I had to show this. I found this, and I'm sorry, it's my favourite fowl this week.
Expectations. Reality.
Oh dear. I bet he feels a right cock.
That's right.
I'm sorry, I know it's I've got a thing about phallic things, I think, but the thing is, I mean, it's just brilliant, isn't it? I mean, And of course the two together, just
Yeah.
so you can remind yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they sort of run out of room because
They run out of
they've
colour.
made
Golly.
they've made the neck way too long. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but I'll tell you, it gives you a laugh. Right. Now, I searched for an Alice in Wonderland car, and this is what it brought up. To be fair, I was amazed I found something. But yeah, I mean, that's really cool, actually.
Wonder if it's actually airbrushed or if it's like a lot of things nowadays. They just put a
Wrap on it.
wrap on it.
It's probably wraps, I would
Yeah.
have thought.
I was like, because I used to airbrush. When I was a kid and used to go to the car shows, they always used to be airbrushed.
But no, I mean, it still looks spectacular, whatever way.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah. Excuse me. Right. Hang on, I'm just having a look. What have we got now?
Meet Me
Yes.
in Wonderland plate set. Plates and bowl?
Yeah, it's actually, where are you?
Don't know.
You moved on faster than me. Oh, here we go. Alice in Wonderland. It's a 12-piece dinner set from Asda.
Alright.
Again, I'm not sponsored. They're selling it, or they were selling it, I don't know which of those is true, for £35.
Alright.
So, but they have got loads of different Disney inspired ones. They've got some really cool Harry Potter ones. They've got all different ones basically. So if you
we've got
want
weird wildlife one there, haven't we? We got from there.
Fancy Forest.
Yeah. I say you've got
Yeah.
like foxes with antlers and bits like that. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah.
this is it.
Yeah.
But no, mind you, our set didn't cost £35, but then I don't. Did ours come with? Yeah, it came with bowls and everything. I think it was £20.
Yeah.
But this is a licensed Disney product as well, I might mention. So
Yeah.
hence why it's nearly double.
Yeah.
But still, I think that is really nice.
Yeah.
And if they haven't got this set, they're likely to have others.
Yeah.
Right, so had to do some animal fashion on this. So there
I
you've
do
got
not look happy, especially the one in the centre.
you've got Alice, you've got the Red Queen, Queen of Hearts,
Yeah.
and you've got, of course, the one in the middle, which is
Tom.
one of the. Well, actually, it's the rabbit in his
It is the
tabard
rabbit, yes,
and
yes.
card.
Oh, he's got details on the
Because
top
he's
as well.
got rabbit, yeah, he's got bunny ears.
Yeah.
And the reason I had to show you these was because I found this next pair and I had to show them, so I thought I'd better find. So you've got Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I mean, aren't they gorgeous? Look at those little faces. So, they look absolutely unimpressed.
I do.
Right, so of course, being an Alice in Wonderland type thing,
Yeah.
I thought, well, you've got to have clocks.
Yeah.
Now then, I've got some prices and where to get them.
Right. The question I've got to ask is, does this clock actually run backwards?
Yes.
It does.
Alice in Wonderland backwards clock, and it's £12.95 from eBay. These are the current prices that I found that with the pictures and the information, so whether or not it's gone up, down or available still is another matter.
Yeah.
Right, our next one,
Yeah. Bit like our supernatural
these
one
just
we've got
run
to put out.
normally. This is on eBay for £16 2p.
They're actually records that have been cut out.
That's right, yeah.
Because we've got a supernatural one we need to put up.
Yeah.
But it's got a light bit behind it, and we haven't got any spare plug sockets round by it.
It seemed like a good idea at the time. Right. Now the next one.
That's another one.
Again, it's another one of the record ones, but I thought, well, I'll show you both. This one's £16.70 on eBay.
Yeah.
And if you type in Alice in Wonderland clock and record, it will bring up all different ones.
Yeah.
Right, now this is my favourite one.
Quite a heart and
Now,
soul.
if any of you haven't heard of the Bradford Exchange, and those of you that have are thinking, that means lots of money.
You're right.
You're right, yes, you are right.
You're right, yeah.
The quality's there,
Yeah.
you know, it doesn't
It's got the mountain
tend
teapot
to
in the centre.
devalue or anything. It's just absolutely stunning, and they do so many different things. Again, not sponsored. I'm just letting you know about it. Oh, I'd love to be sponsored by them. Can you imagine? This is in stock currently, and it is £219.95.
Yeah. I don't like it that much.
Thing is, though, they don't depreciate from the.
No, they don't. No.
You know, I mean, and to be fair, once they're discontinued, and you know,
Yeah.
they'll only increase. But it's finding that money to get ones like that in the first place. You've got to be pretty passionate about it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, being a clocks only last so long.
Yeah.
So if I was to get something from the Bradford Exchange, it wouldn't necessarily be a clock for that reason, because if I'm paying 200 odd quid for a clock, I expect the clock to work for the rest of my life and the life of my nieces and their children and nephews and their children, and you know. But yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so this is the last bit on part 1.
Of a kid. Tis but a scratch. The Black Knight always triumphs. Me after sleeping in a funny position as an adult, my body is broken.
Now, you might argue that this is more based on what it is. It's based on, oh, what's it called?
Well, the top one's Monty Python and the Holy
Yeah.
Grail.
Basically, what I'm saying is, it's not based on Alice in Wonderland.
No.
Technically.
Yeah.
Now, clocks or being late and things like that are a big part of Alice in Wonderland. So I went with this because, of course, it is over a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with it. I'm just going with it. Just go with it, people.
Is that it?
That is it for part 1, guys. So, I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Now, don't forget, checking out part 2s for Darren's bits.
Yep.
We get the
all the
animal
goodies and everything
fails,
else.
we've got substitutions, we've got shop updates.
Yeah.
And we've got comments and things from you guys.
Yeah.
So, check it out.
Yeah.
So,
Right. See you in a minute.
see you soon.
No.